Well, joining me now is retail expert Clare Rayner. Good to have on the programme tonight, Clare. And let's get a comment from you about Blockbuster. Are you surprised by their demise?
Unfortunately, I'm not, and I don't think too many people are. I think we've seen that the stores have begun to look very tired, and there's obvious massive online competition, not least the fact that you can download movies and so on and so forth for next to nothing, but also the fact that you can buy DVDs for about the same price as you could hire them.
Another retailer, another day. I mean, we were only talking about HMV yesterday. I mean, how far could this go?
It happens every January. If you look back the last couple of Januaries, we do see a number of retailers who are very on thin ice, let's say, wavering after poor Christmas sales. So there may be a few more to come through yet. It's because in January the major quarterly rent payments are due, and that brings them into an insolvency position a lot of the time.
Why is this happening?
I think there's a number of issues, two significant ones. The first, I would say, is structural, a lot to do with the government, and it's not competitiveness per se, but it's business rates. What we've got going on is an environment where if you run an online-only business, you can get a warehouse to deal with all of your sales fulfillment, the shipping of orders, whereas if you run a high street business, you have to have retail space. Now, historically, retail space was prime. It's no longer prime. The sales mix has shifted, and the rates haven't. We still pay up to 100 times more per square metre for business rates in the high street compared to a warehouse.
Now, Vince Cable, the business secretary, told us on 5 News last night that the government shouldn't get involved in competition on the high street. Is he right?
It's not about competition. It's about the structural issue. It's about the imbalance. So let there be competition. It's great and it creates innovation. It forces people to be dynamic.
What would you like to see him do?
I want him to look at rebalancing business rates, collect the same amount of rates, but perhaps look at the sales mix, reduce the rates payable at the high street, increase the rates payable from online distribution centres. The total pot remains the same, but the way it's shared out is different.
But it is also survival of the fittest, isn't it? You don't want to see government getting involved in running businesses in this country. So what do retailers need to do as well?
They need to be more innovative. I think the so-called multi-million-pound investment in the high street the government has made is probably somewhat of a waste of money. Spend that on sorting out the business rates issue. Let businesses prove themselves. They need to be relevant, they need to be attractive, and they need to have something to sell to consumers.
We're known as a nation of shopkeepers. What will happen to our towns if the historic high street is no more? It would be a disaster.
It won't be no more. There are so many fantastic entrepreneurial businesses looking for premises. If the rates and rent in some areas, if they're addressed, we've got startups willing to bring that innovation that as consumers we're looking for. We've gone through something of what I call a revolution as consumers, fueled by mobile and the internet. Retailers have not caught up. This is kind of the fallout of that evolution that they need to go through.
We need to listen to you as well. Clare, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.